All right. Everybody knows that it's the year of karma. It's the year of the 8, right? This energy, that light was so bright. You are veering off onto a timeline here that is very, okay. My house is a little bit loud, but I want to get this out while when you get it in your brain, and if you don't get it out right then and there, you're afraid you'll lose it. Is that energy? You're veering off onto a timeline or on a path, okay, where you are staying in alignment with your consciousness. You're keeping your side of the street clear because you cannot live that way with your spirit not being able to feel like there could have been a time in your life where you didn't really feel like you had a consciousness, or like you could do whatever, and you didn't feel, or you might have just lived with the guilt, or you just knew that you weren't in alignment, right? Your daily mission, your daily goal every single day is to feel that, like, you're not worried about anything external. You want to constantly keep shifting mentally, emotionally, and spiritually now in order to you experience peace. That's what happened. That's what changed the whole game. You experience peace beyond your understanding, joy, waves of bliss, even while you were hurting and grieving and broken. Through that experience, you knew there's nothing else that matters once you experience that, okay? I know I carry on about the energy of peace a lot, but once you experience it after going through deep grief and pain, nothing else matters other than that feeling, and you're constantly doing what you need to do to change the perspective, to shoot your frequency back to that place, right? And now you're in this place where you're actually able to look at very lower vibes or lower frequencies from a high vibrational place. There would be times you couldn't even expand on those kind of energies or dip into that energy pocket, if you will, or think about it, right? Because you were afraid if you would expand within it, you would absorb so much of that energy because you're clairsentient, because you feel what that energy is, and you've learned not to take that on. You're starting to learn how to build a energetic bubble, right? And you're able to look lovingly down on lower frequencies now, or situations even, and stay in your high vibrational place, right? Stay in that place of peace. It doesn't affect your frequency or your vibe anymore, or your state of being, right? Because you've taken care of your mental health. You know how your mental health got at least at one point in time, and you had to, for the sake of yourself and potentially the people in your life selves, do what you needed to do to heal your mental health here. It is becoming apparent out in the open that you have healed your mental health, or not healed, but you are taking care of it. But there is disposing of evidence right here that came out with these 3 cards. It feels like the narrative for a long time to somebody has been that you're not well or you're not like mentally fit, or something along these lines. There is a attempt to continue to dispose any evidence suggesting that your mental health is out in the open, that it is being taken care of, that it is being nurtured. You have brought a lot of massive healing to it. Maybe you're going to therapy actively. Maybe you are just taking care of your mind and your well-being. But for some reason, that's something that has been a narrative that has need to keep going for an excuse to continue to treat you the way, oh, they're not good, their mental health is not well, they're not okay inside, right? So they need to keep that narrative going, so they continue to dispose any evidence of there being proof that you've been actively healing your mental health here, when they themselves could be the freaking thing that had your mental health spiral at one point. Now look at you. There are certain things that do not trigger you or bother you. Or if it does, it doesn't radically, drastically impact your mental health anymore to the point where you can't function. You are doing amazing. And then some, right? Now, this justice and this karma and this timeline issues, okay? It feels as if you're branching away because of this, right? Like you're constantly focused on your frequency, your vibe, so that your mental health stays good, so that you can take care of yourself, others, your family, however, right? Where potentially the other energy that we're talking about here is going down a karmic path, or going down a path full of lessons here, in order to learn and go through exactly what you went through, so that they can understand on a more in-depth level why you at one point in time were the way that you were, because of the lack of healing and everything like that. And so that they can see the magnitude of the healing that you have brought. So that is a big reason for the divide, the separation. It's becoming undeniable that it is no longer a secret that you are free. It feels like your mental health was what was keeping you kidnapped in a way, okay? Or tied into a timeline where your mental health was affected, right? Because of whatever the severity of this heartbreak or turmoil or trauma or grief, that it gripped you. It gripped you, and it did affect your mental health, and it did play a toll because of the immaculate care and concern and heart that you had for whoever this is, right? It is crystal clear. It is no longer a secret that you have become free now. You don't let that situation, person, place, thing, or idea dictate your mind so much so that you are still under that control where it's controlling your emotions or your mental state anymore. It's clear that you're free. The secret is out that you are free. Now, so the opposite of regret is happiness, gladness, and satisfaction. And we have regret in reverse. Like, I feel like you give off this energy of, more than anything, I'm being honed in on the word satisfaction, because you truly are. Like, it's like Nine of Cups energy, kind of, almost like this fulfillment that you feel, almost like pride, satisfaction for yourself. And the hard work that you had to do to not let this dictate you mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually anymore. Like, you do feel this. And then, hold on. So there has been potentially this like reoccurring belief, right? It's a programming that has been rerun in your brain, right? Where the worst case scenario continue to kind of like quote unquote happen in your life. So you had developed potentially this mentality that like almost like fearful to allow yourself to feel that fulfillment, feel that bliss, feel that joy at the full capacity you know that you want to, because you had been programmed for a while that every time you would feel that way, boom, something would come in to kind of, I'm hearing ransack. I don't use that word. That energy, and you would have something to be upset about or sad about or grief or cry or be mourning, or it'd be very like low frequency impactful. You have learned though now how to be able to still be in that frequency even if lifes, and not allowing your frequency to be dictated by outside things that are very difficult. You can stay and tend to those things better at a higher vibrational frequency. So now you know within inside of your spirit that fulfillment or satisfaction and joy and bliss, all of that, it's unavoidable. You're going to have that no matter what. It doesn't matter what trials and tribulations come through in your reality. You will always be able to get yourself back. Even if it impacts you and you have to feel it to heal it for a little bit, you will always be proven to yourself over and over and over and over and over again. You will always be able to get yourself back to a place of this high vibes, riot. And then yes, just like a double confirmation here, you will riot. You will do anything mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually to get yourself back into this place of a high frequency or high vibrational place, because your mental health literally depends on it. But this is just something that you need to continue to integrate and know that it is your secret weapon. Evidence in the reverse, it's almost like you haven't put this piece together yet, lack of evidence, to support the fact that you have the secret weapon. You have the ability, no matter what, to always bring yourself back. You are your frequency, your ability to bring yourself back into this high vibrational state is your secret weapon. You just need to recognize that about you. Love you.